Hello guys, welcome back. It's Logical as always. Something a bit different. I'm doing post commentary on this one because this video is basically a determination of never surrender. You'll understand why in a minute because this match gets nutty real freaking quick. Their Eden Greystone combo is absolutely savage in the early game. Greystone with his a lot of tankiness but also a lot of wave clear and damage. Like, he is dangerous in that category, so he is. And then obviously you have Eden for his long range, picking off Arzaris. Arzaris is also quite the beast as well, I have to admit. But yes, not a favourable trade in the beginning, and you'll figure this out, that this doesn't go quite well for very long. Zaris is more of a roaming support rather than a direct support, as in he'll be anywhere and everywhere. Unfortunately, our Kalari did get picked up quite handily there. Again, their team is unusually aggressive, but their Eden is definitely their linchpin in this fight. Now, luckily enough, my Zaris came and saved me just in the nick of time, but again, I'm still quite low on health, so likely odds is I'm going to get hurt. But I don't think actually... Oh no! Zaris actually managed to pick up the kill. Happy days. Again, it'll be a lot of chopping and changing, you will see this, so you will. And there's a particular point where shit just goes not very well, because their duo lane is exceptionally aggressive and their Wraith is also quite a beast as well. This gets really, really difficult, so it does. Not just that, their Boris is also quite the invasive jungler, so he is always somewhere nearby, so he is. But it's particularly their duo lane is their linchpin here, because again, their Eden is an absolute monster. And again, I'm not the best carry, but I can do something. You know what I mean? I can do some things. Plus, I'm testing out probably very insignificant builds at this stage. So I am, but between the Boris's high aggression and Eden's high aggression, it's exceptionally difficult to try and get anything really done. So it is, because they're either always in jungle or they're always somewhere where they quote unquote need to be, and it does cause a lot of issues. And then this is where obviously my own need to protect people gets me killed. Then Zaris picks up, so yeah, I suppose it in some way, shape or form works out, and then Kalari picks up the Greystone. This, I did notice that throughout this game it always seemed to be a case of there's always some form of trade that goes on. Nobody ever really snowballs out of control. It's more just, it's never just a clean victory. It's always just, there's always a trade. But I think it's at this stage where shit really sort of snowballs out of control, because again, my ult tickles for the meantime, so it does. So I get picked off quite easily, so I do. And they're aiming for Fangtooth, so they are, and they're in the mood to make trades. So again, I died. This is me literally on my way back. They pick up their first Fangtooth, and now it just turns into a scuffle session, because they've already won the Fangtooth, but now it's just a case of who can clean up who. Luckily enough, Gadget picks up Boris, but then of course I can't secure the Eden kill. And then of course, when Mary says about them being rather invasive, yes, they have no issues hunting you down, so they don't. Absolutely zero issues, so they do. Which, of course, is going to put us in a little bit of a detriment. 15 to 11 currently, it's not exactly what you consider great. Zaris trying to do Zaris things, basically being a pain in the ass. My damage still hasn't picked up enough to actually be considered a threat, whereas Eden is really getting up there now, because he's able to take apart our Zaris like it was nothing. So he was, and then of course Boris wants my head. Boris, Eden, again, this team that we're against is exceptionally aggressive, and you can see that they're really starting to push on us. It's now 11 to 17. Like, we're really starting to feel the force, because their Boris, in combination with their Eden and Greystone, are a disaster to deal with. Again, another set of... there's Eden with a triple kill, but it's always a trade. It's never a clean compromise. And then of course I managed to pick off Boris, because that was just happy-go-lucky circumstances there. Boris picked the wrong direction, and now I'm starting to build up rhythm, because now I'm starting to do a little bit more damage. So I managed to pick off the Boris, then pick off the Eden, and then pick off the Greystone. It's at this stage that Eden got really pissed off at me, because at this stage Everybody wants my head. Boris appears, Greystone appears, and Eden appears, all just to make very quick mincemeat out of me. What can I say? But they have now noticed that my damage is starting to pick up, but it still isn't going to slow them down on their offense, so it isn't. Again, managed to pick up the Eden because he dives on me, but then Greystone dives on me and I die. Greystone's diving potential is absurd sometimes. But now we've got the major linchpin to this build. Here's the first surrender, right? This is because if you look at it, it's 17 to 27. They have 10 kills on us and we're feeling the pressure. We're also losing in tower game as well. It is what it is, but again, this is like the comeback video, so it is, because I start managing to actually do damage. Their Boris's greed gets the better of them here, it is what it is. Everybody's stacking Manta Scythe, so everybody's looking those big minions. Everybody's after it now, so they are. Then again, Eden's damage. Eden's damage is absurd, but then, funnily enough, it was actually Wraith who actually managed to pick me up that time, which again is a surprise to me, right? But then you have this little altercation, because this is where my damage really is starting to snowball, so it is, because you can tell, well, Greystone should have survived, Boris should have survived, but I managed to mince the two of them. But the problem with it is the fact that Eden's on hunt mode, which means that I'm not going to have the damage. I'm still on cooldown for certain abilities, and I can't do shit. It is what it is at that stage. I can't really do much in that scenario. How else am I meant to do something? But you can see the current situation that we're in. We are now 18 kills behind. 19 kills now. Like, you can see why this is starting to lean more into a comeback territory, because we are getting absolutely fucking eviscerated. But at the exact same time, we haven't lost. Somebody did want to surrender, and we said no, simply off of the base factor of, you never know what's going to happen. And particularly whenever it comes to being Kiara, it's a blink and you'll miss it moment, because Kiara's damage really starts to snowball once you get Solaris online. It is what it is. And then this is my first revenge kill against Eden, because Eden got very greedy against me, not knowing that I had ult up, and no harm, but ult on Kiara, once she has gotten her rhythm sorted, is quite abusive, so it is, because I'm about to demonstrate it twice in a row why Eden shouldn't be getting in my way. But that's just the best way I can put it. Now here's where the issue is. This is the first time I'm talking about their Sevarog, because their Sevarog has been expertly passive this entire match. He has not been aggressive in any way, shape or form, but he is being aggressive now. He literally held off to the very end to be the problem. Now, again, my fault for letting the Kalari die. I'm not denying that there, but the thing was I wanted to protect the inhibitor, so deal with the minions, protect the inhibitor. You get the general gist of it there. So again, I do apologize for that, but it is what it is in that same scenario. But it is now hitting the point where Eden and everybody else is getting exceptionally greedy and wants to get some killing done. Again, Sevarog now starting to demonstrate why he is a colossal pain in my ass. I just realised that Wraith just screwed the Sevarog. Sevarog went for colossal blow, and because of Wraith it missed. Oh damn, I kind of feel sorry for the Sevarog now. Eden managed to clean up on the back end, and then I was lucky, because if Wraith had been a little bit more accurate, I would have been very dead. Not going to deny that there. And then of course this is just asking for pain at this stage, because this puts everybody in the one place, and one good ult puts enough damage out. Again, Sevarog being the tank of tanks, as you would expect from a Sevarog. Have you ever seen an attack speed? I think I've seen a few attack speed Sevarogs actually, which is kind of funny to think about. But yeah, Sevarog has now developed a level of damage that is a bit nasty. But then you also have our Eden, who cleaned up. This is what I mean by, this is where the phrase of never surrender comes in, because quite frankly, you never know how this match is going to go. At one point in that match, they were a solid 18 to 19 kills ahead of us. and we managed, and by the end of it, they were still 20 kills ahead of us, but we still managed to win. So we did. It is what it is in that scenario. You can't complain. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe if you didn't enjoy. Remember, not everything goes to plan, and in your games, never goddamn surrender, because you never know what might happen.